Isn't this great? Look at this beautiful snowfall we had today. Covers everything. All the dirt and mud of the last couple weeks covered over with this beautiful fresh covering of clean white snow. And I have to say, this is what I call reasonable amount of nice snow and winter weather. We're here the first day of February. Hey, it's Daryl. How you doing today? And today we're back with another repair video for you. We've got this lovely Homelite 26B leaf blower that my son David picked up for me in the trash. I guess it belonged to one of his neighbors. I'm looking at it, it seems like almost brand new. Everything's bright and shiny on it. I noticed there's duct tape holding the discharge chute in place, which I'm not sure why. I don't like. We'll have to find a way to fix that if we can get it running. We pulled it over. It was a little tricky starting it, but then I didn't want to pull it over too much because when I looked at the fuel in it here, I don't know if you see this very well or not, but the fuel doesn't look very green. There's no greenish tint to the fuel. It's more of a reddish tint, almost like you would have if it had stable in it. So I'm wondering if there's enough oil in the fuel to even run this right without ruining the engine. So just as a precaution, we're going to pull the spark plug out and do a compression test with my handy compression tester here and see what kind of numbers we get from that before we get too involved in trying to adjust or clean the carburetor or check other things on it. Alright, this is the 3/4 inch deep swell socket we're going to use to remove the spark plug with. I'm going to get that right on out of here. We're going to take our compression gauge, we're going to gently screw it into the spark plug hole, making sure the threads go nice and straight without any cross. And it doesn't have to be super tight. There's an O-ring on the base of this thing where we're threading it in, and it's going to tighten up till it just feels nice and snug. We're not going to put a wrench on or anything. And then we're going to take this in our hand and depress this to make sure there's no residual pressure in the, like that, make sure there's no residual pressure in the gauge. And then we're going to vigorously pull the starter cord about 5 times really fast to see what kind of compression we come up with. Now, it's a really good engine. It'll have 140, 160. I figure you need at least 100 to run. We're running about 85. That's really low on compression. That's not good. We're gonna just for the sake of argument, we're gonna give it a couple more twists and see if it might be leaking around there. We're gonna go again. We got it up to, we were able to get up to like 92, 95 maybe. That's still not really good. You should have at least 100, 120 for it to be considered running. Sometimes for my personal use, I'll take one and keep it running if it's 100 and nurse it along. But if I'm fixing something for someone else, I usually tell them if it doesn't have at least 120, I'm not really going to try and tune it up or fix it because you won't be happy with the long-term outcome. And I say really new, it should have closer to 160, 140 to 160 minimum. But I don't know. I'm not happy with the numbers we're getting. I'm thinking if we put some fresh gas in it, it might, with oil mix in it, the oil might lubricate the rings a little bit and get it running. But there might already be some burn damage to the cylinder walls or the side of the piston and rings in order to lose compression. So it could already be damaged inside beyond economical repairability. Alright, well, it was bad news. The fuel in it was all gas, no oil. And this is a new machine. If we look closely at the label here, we can see it clearly says on there gas oil mix 50-to-1 ratio, which is 2.7 ounces per gallon of fuel. By not using the correct amount of oil and gas mix in this nice little $100, $120 leaf blower, we just seeing the death of another quality piece of yard equipment before its time. I hope you won't make the same mistake. Make sure you check the cap on all your power equipment. Use the correct mix of fuel and 2-cycle mixing oil in all of your equipment. so you don't have this problem. If you accidentally put oil in a 4-cycle motor that doesn't require it, you might have to change your spark plug, but it's really not going to cause you any long-term problems. But if you run straight gas in a 2-stroke machine like this, what requires the mixing, the inside of the cylinder is going to overheat without lubrication and burn up. Starting with the exhaust port, it'll start to get hot first, and then metal will start transferring between the piston and ring and the cylinder wall, and the whole thing's just messed up inside. I've got some pictures I took here. You can see what happens inside of the cylinder when it's running without the proper lubrication. We've got little pieces of metal starting to bounce around inside of the combustion chamber. You can see some scoring on the cylinder wall here by the exhaust port. You can also see some metal transfer and scoring over by the intake port. And like I say, this is going to take probably a total rebuild if I want to get it running right again. That would be a cylinder, a piston, rings, and that upper rebuild kit for this is about $50 from most places online. Might be able to get it a little bit cheaper if I shop around some more. You know, if this was your personal machine and you took it to a shop, it certainly wouldn't even be worth thinking about fixing. At a shop labor rate of between $50 and $90 an hour, you know, you're just not going to be able to pay someone an hour and a half of their time to rebuild this for you and come out ahead. But if you're a tinkerer or do-it-yourselfer and you need a nice little leaf blower like this, you know, it might be worth $40 or $50 and a couple hours of your time to rebuild it yourself. So, something to think about. I'll have to decide what I'm going to do. I say it's still winter time right now, so I've got time to think about it, and I do have a working gas leaf blower right now that works pretty well, so there's no real hurry to get another one. But these little Homelites are certainly nice machines, and we're going to set this in the storage shed and think about what to do with it. I want to give a special shout out to my new internet buddy Ron at MEC Shooting Sports in Mayville, Wisconsin. And Ron watched one of my videos and he was able to save himself a lot of time and work fixing a problem he had on his Lincoln Navigator. And he sent me these 2 great shooting hats or sport hats with the MEC logo on them. And I just wanted to say thank you very much, Ron, and give your company a little shout out too. MEC Shooting Sports in Mayville, Wisconsin. And from the looks of it on their website, they sell a wide variety of reloading and ammunition supplies for competitive shooters. So if you're into shooting sports and competitive shooting and reloading, check out MEC Systems in Mayville, Wisconsin. And thanks again, Ron. I really appreciate it. This was so kind of you. I love it when my fans reach out to me. Like I say, you don't have to send me anything, but I appreciate it that you did. And, just knowing that you guys were able to benefit and save yourself some money, that's really the ultimate gratification. Thanks so much, everyone, for watching. Have a great day.